guys have dogs? It's safe to say that most of you love your dog, but how would you feel about crossing 1,000 miles with your dog in the snow with life or death situations at every turn? This great trek is known as sled dog racing, a fast-paced, dangerous sport in the northern region of the world. After extensive research and through looking at testimonies and even learning some lessons through the Alaskan Education Program, I, Krista, have grown to appreciate the sport, and I will teach you about these incredible races. In order for you to have a better understanding of this race, I will cover its history, logistics, the attributes of the dogs, dangers, and legacies. We will begin with the history of sled dog racing. Sled dog teams have been around for about 1,000 years and to help people in native villages. Dog sledding was the main form of transportation for these civilizations, as they would transport supplies like mail or other goods. The article Dog Tales expresses that sled dog teams were essential for the way of life, and they became popular in 1910, when gold was found in the city of Iditarod, which attracted many miners to the north. The constant transportation of supplies and goods created the Iditarod Trail, which would someday become the trail for modern-day races. Finally, with the invention of the snowmobile, or iron dog, there became a decreasing need for sled dogs. In order to preserve its history, people began dreaming up the possibility of sled dog racing. In 1964, Dorothy Page and Joe Reddington came up with the idea of racing over the Iditarod Trail to preserve its gold rush history. So now that you know more about the history, I will now teach you how to race. There are two types of races. Marathon races typically are 200 to 1,000 miles long with 26 to 27 checkpoints along the trail. Studies by the Iditarod Insider says that races typically take anywhere between 8 to 20 days for mushers and their teams to complete. Next, sprint races typically are 5 to 14 miles and take from 15 to 30 minutes. Now that you know about these types of races, let's look at some of the materials that you'll need. The first thing you need is a sled. There are two types of sleds. You can either have a toboggan or a stanchion, which has a basket on it to support supplies or dogs if they get hurt. According to the Upper Peninsula Sled Dog Association, mushers are required to carry materials such as headlamps, sleeping bags, booties, first aid kits, and 1 pound of dog food for each dog, just to name a few. You also need to strap the dogs together with proper harnesses, and the main line that holds all the dogs together is 50 feet long, and attached to that are 4.5 long lines that clip onto their harness. The logistics and history of the races may seem cool, but the best part about the races is, of course, the dogs. So now let's look at what makes these dogs just so amazing. And the best type of dog for this is what is known as the Alaskan Husky, which weighs about 45 to 55 pounds. The type of dog is not a mix of its own breed, but many breeds. And the science channel called Minute Earth says that Alaskan Huskies are the fastest animals on the planet by a long distance. Why is this? Because they can control what fuels and energy to burn. There are two types of fuel. There's glycogen and fats and proteins. And glycogen is faster to burn than fats and proteins, but humans tend to burn the glycogen more than fats and proteins, so they get tired quickly. But huskies, on the other hand, never use their glycogen and burn the longer-lasting fats and proteins, allowing them to go long distances and fuel up quickly by just eating some food. In fact, studies show that dogs have the same vitals at the end of the race as they did at the beginning. Now also, huskies have specific roles in these races. The lead dog is known as the one that is most intelligent, learns the calls, and sets the pace. Behind them is the swing dogs, which helps with the turns. After them, the middle dogs are the team dogs because they are the strongest. And then the wheel dogs are the biggest dogs too, and they supply the support. Also, these races can be fun for the teams and crowds watching, but we must now look at the dangers. The trails are subject to jagged mountains, storms, and hard ice, and temperatures can go from 40 degrees above to 60 degrees below zero in Fahrenheit. PETA claims that the sad reality of many dogs in the races is that sometimes they can get mistreated. Sadly, every race, 1 to 2 dogs die, and many are injured and bloody due to the harsh conditions. Usually, 58 teams start and 23 drop. That's a little less than half. But despite all of the dangers, sled dog racing is still a beloved sport by many, and there have been amazing stories of bravery that I will discuss with you today. Some of the winners are Dick Wilmarth, who was the very first winner in the Iditarod race. Dallas Seavey was the youngest winner at age 25, and his father was coincidentally the oldest winner at age 53. Dallas also holds the fastest record of racing, and he beat his own record. Although the winners may be impressive, the true acts of courage are the heroes of dog sledding. One of the most famous stories is of Balto. In short, the city of Nome was suffering with diphtheria, which is a disease that attacks the lungs and throat, and people were dying every day. But Balto guided a team through the blizzard and saved the city. In conclusion, I have shared with you about the great races led by valiant dogs. Sled dog racing is a complex sport with a large history, logistics, incredible dogs, dangers, and legacies that will continue to shape and inspire others. Thank you.